Hi survivors, it's me Prepper Zan reporting to you. Hope you guys are doing well, because what's going on in this world is not. I want to talk to you guys again today about these severe water shortages that's amongst us. Now, we talk about all these other important things, these things that sound fatal, that are fatal, and things that we're going through right now in these disastrous days caused by the wicked, allegedly. But anyway, when you start talking about water shortages, you're talking about some severe problems. We thought all these other problems that we were dealing with were bad. Water shortages, and they're talking about how they're going to have to start rationing out water in so many words, or like reduce the water usage in a lot of these major states and stuff. Y'all, we dealing with some big problems. I'm sorry, y'all. I should already have these glasses on, especially when I have to read articles. So anyway, it goes on to say, this is about the Tier 2 water shortage. It says the federal government has declared a Tier 2 water shortage on the Colorado River, as the Colorado River Basin is in the midst of a 23-year drought. And of course now, quite naturally, it's worse because of this heat, the severe heat. So it's major, right? So it goes on to say, the Colorado River provides water to roughly 40 million people in several states and in Mexico. In addition, the water is also used to irrigate around 15 billion worth of crops. $15 billion worth of crops in the region. And it says, an extraordinary drought in the West is drying up the Colorado River and draining the nation's largest reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell. And amid the overuse of the river and the aridification of the region, the federal government is implementing new mandatory water cuts and asking states to devise a plan to save the river basin. The federal government announced Tuesday the Colorado River will operate in a Tier 2 shortage condition for the first time starting in January, as the West's historic drought has taken a severe toll on Lake Mead. According to a new projection from the Department of Interior, Lake Mead's water level will be below 1,050 feet above sea level come January 2023. The threshold required to declare a Tier 2 shortage started in 2023. The tier shortage means Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico will have to further reduce their Colorado River use beginning in January 2023. California will not yet have cuts made to the water they receive from the Colorado River. Of the impacted states, Arizona will face the largest cut, 592,000 acre feet, or approximately 21% of the state's yearly allotment of river water. Every sector in every state has a responsibility to ensure that water is used with the maximum efficiency in order to avoid a catastrophic collapse of the Colorado River system and a failure of uncertainty and conflict. Water use in the basin must be reduced. Interior's Assistant Secretary for Water and Science, Tanya Trujillo, said, she said that in a statement. It was just a year ago that the Department of the Interior declared the first shortage on the Colorado River a Tier 1, but the past 12 months did not bring enough rain or snow. Lake Mead's level has been around 1,040 feet this summer, just 27% of its full capacity. The growing concern is that the mandatory cuts announced today, part of a system that was updated as recently as 2019, aren't enough to save the river in the face of a historic climate change-driven drought. States, water managers, and tribes are now back at the negotiating table to figure out how to solve the West water crisis. We thought we were good, but the last few years have been so dry that we realized those tier reductions weren't enough and aren't enough. Bill, the Colorado River Resources Manager with the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, told CNN. So the two things we're focused on is how do we get through the next 3 years without the system crashing. They're talking about this is going to be catastrophic within the next 3 years. So if they say the next 3 years, expect it in the next year, allegedly. And then how do we develop a long-term plan to sustain the Colorado River? And then they go on and say that there's only so much water. See, this is our problem over here. We think we got this. We think we have infinite food. We think we have infinite water. We think we have infinite resources, y'all. But those times and days, they gone. It's just a matter of time till we're gonna have limited resources of what we can have, of what we'll have access to. Mark my words. And that's why it's important for us to put ourselves in positions now, so we'll be prepared and we can take care of ourselves and our families, y'all. I mean, I have like the 40-gallon barrels. I store water in it. I have water on one of my properties by way of a well, you know. And there's other things that I'm working on in dealing with water. One of the properties that I have is right down the street from a major water source, And just because that's now don't mean it's going to always be. But these are some of the steps that I'm taking. These are some of the things that I am doing to make sure I have a lot of water and have access to a lot of water. And I have a lot of ways of purifying the water that I do have access, and ways of purifying the water in the future. So, you know, I'm just sharing these examples with you guys. You know, you may not have a big lake around you or ocean or whatnot, but you need to find out where some sources of water are, or how you going to tap in that ground to get you some water. For you can't tap in there and get no water. And store as much water as you possibly can, if you can. Y'all, the time is drawing nearer, and I don't think people really realize what we up against. You know, all those other things are really, really scary. All this stuff we've been dealing with, I don't have to go down the list. Y'all already know. I'm talking about, it's almost a book full of stuff we've been dealing with, you know, in the last couple of years. But when you start talking about water, that's like game over. That's a major game changer with all these other different things that we've been dealing with. We don't have access to water like humans need, like animals need, like nature needs, like the world needs. It's it. We all in trouble and could be possibly wiped out. Behind that fact alone, you go a long time without eating. You can't go a long time without water. You can't go past 2 or 3 days without water, without your body start having problems, and your house and everything else around you. This is the main thing that we need worse than everything, than anything besides God and love is water. I'm telling you. And, you know, and some of y'all put money in that category. But so, you know, I'm going to keep on talking about it. I know I shared a little bit with, I've been sharing a lot with y'all actually, you know, in the last year in regards to water shortages, things that's going on with the water, everything. I talk about it on every post, even at the end of my videos, you know. So, you know, I just want you guys to be serious, all of us to be serious about this. You know, it starts at home. Everything starts at home. You know, I don't know about you guys, but you know, when I use containers, I fill them back up with water when I'm done with it. Of course, I rinse them out, clean them out really well, and I fill them back up with water. That's even my Clorox bottles. You know, I fill it up with water, because you never know. It's just a matter of time before you get hit, allegedly, with something disastrous. And I'm not wishing it upon you, but I'm just saying these are the days and times we're living in. And all this is in the scriptures as well. What's going to happen in the end times. Before you get hit with something disastrous and you can't turn on that faucet water. Think right now, if you go turn on that faucet water right now, which, talking about faucet water, it smelled like crap this morning. That's why I tell y'all better smell that water. Oh, it was disgusting. If you can't turn on that faucet water, or if you can't turn on that bathtub water, what you gonna do? Y'all know how many people dealing with that right now who don't have water? Y'all know how many hundreds of millions of people die every year from lack of water or from water diseases. They don't talk about that on that lamestream media. Yeah, it's millions of people that die behind water, not have the lack of water and because of water diseases every year. So with that being said, we just gotta put our seatbelt on, put on our boots, lace up our laces, tie them up in the knots, and get to running when it comes to prepping and preparing, y'all, because the time is winding down. They used to say in my church that I grew up in, something about work while it is day. For when the night comes, no man can work. Those are the times that we are facing. Please follow me on my other platforms. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're looking for land in bug out areas, I do have some for sale. With YouTube's new regulations, I have to state that these are my properties that I do own. It doesn't belong to anybody. I don't sell anybody else's products on here. I don't promote anybody else's products on here. Please support the allegedly t-shirts and the good luck with that t-shirts if you can. And most of all, the links will be in the description. And most of all, watch this world, watch the weather, smell your water, boil your water before you use it, and keep surviving.